I'm going to kind of talk in very generalities this morning about what we do, who we are. I'm not going to get into a lot of specifics because I could spend a whole amount of time doing that and boring you. I don't think it's enough talk will keep you awake for all those presentations. So, first thing, Karr, Highland Investment Advisors. We've been in business since 2006. It's myself and my partner Adam Drake. Together we have 28 years of combined investment experience. Let me make sure I remember how to work this thing. Real quick agenda here. And I apologize for the lights if they're interfering with your review. I can kind of push them all the way.
The first switch in the wall there. The switch is right behind you.
Left side?
All of them. Wow.
Have a romantic setting. What our clients want? Our clients want, an independent relationship with for a long term, and they want somebody who knows that, they're working on their best interest in their goals. We are a fee-based registered investment advisory firm, and most of our clients that we have been with us, since inception. Many of my clients have actually been with me since the early 2000s, so I have people who've been my clients for the last 8 or 9 or 10 years. But our objective as a firm is to help you achieve your goals. It's not about us, it's about you. What our clients want? Again, they want personalized, focused financial advice. They want to work with us for a number of different reasons. And you can see what they are here. That we put their interests first. That we understand who they are, what their specific needs are, what their unique characteristics are, what problems or issues they've got going on in their personal, professional lives, and the like. And of course, that we offer unbiased, straightforward advice, and that's what our name kind of says everything that we do. We're Highland Investment Advisors. We provide advice. That's our product. That's our service. It's a professional advice. Much like a CPA or an attorney, you go to those individuals for their professional advice regarding those tax matters or legal matters, and they give you, their advice, what you should do. Plead guilty, fight it, contest it, whatever, or file an amended return or flee the country before the IRS gets after you. I said it before, but we do use a fee-based platform for our clients. We are completely fee-based. We do not charge commissions, loads. We don't handle products that carry 12B1 fees. Nothing comes back to us from anything that we provide or suggest to you. And again, we do it that way because it keeps us untainted from the possibility of having conflicts of interest. And I should also ask, if anybody has any questions as I'm going through this rambling on and on, please stop and ask, raise your hands or just shout it out.
Quick question.
Yes.
So the other way would be you could sell me XYZ mutual fund and you would get a kickback from that mutual fund or commission from that mutual fund, or how?
No.
What's the difference then?
Well, if I were, we'll get into this here in a moment, but in the industry there's two separate categories of financial professionals. We are more or less in the minority of those two groups. We are a registered investment advisor. Most everybody else is probably familiar with what they call a registered representative. And they could go by the name of stockbroker, financial consultant, wealth consultant. And they have a zillion different names that they apply to themselves, but they are registered representatives. And they have a duty to you to perform as a suitable, or provide advice to you that is suitable, which means that they tell you about a mutual fund you ought to buy and it's suitable for what you're looking for, but they don't tell you that, oh, by the way, I'm also making 6% commission on that, or I'm also making a 0.25% 12B1 fee every year for as long as you own that fund. Us, on the other hand, we get no commission whatsoever, because again, you pay us just for advice on an ongoing basis, irrespective of what we recommend or suggest to you. Answer your question?
Yeah, definitely.
And again, the top bullet point right here, as a registered investment advisor, we have a legal fiduciary duty to our clients to always work in their best interest. And I don't know how many times I've said this to different clients and different presentations, but it just bears repeating. We have the legal duty to always work for our clients. We cannot put ourselves in front of our clients' interests. Bernie Madoff did. And look what happened to him.
Interesting name, people should have known.
Yeah. Again, because we have a duty to our clients, we have to learn as much about them as possible. We want to give them the best advice possible. And we provide comprehensive financial planning along with our investment advisory service so that your particular needs are intertwined and match up with what you're trying to accomplish, as opposed to just kind of some haphazard investment idea that you want to grow your money, but you make that decision separate and apart from everything else in your financial life. We bring that all into the picture before we make any type of recommendations to you. And this answers the question a little bit that you asked also. What we deliver, we charge for our services on a fee-only basis, meaning that if we manage your money, say for example, you have $100,000 we manage. Typically we charge about 1% to manage that on an annualized basis. So every year you pay us about $1,000. That's how I earn my revenue. That's how I make a living. But during that course of the year, we manage that portfolio for you. We rebalance it as appropriate. We have constant communication with you. And we constantly, we ensure that there's that ongoing dialogue between client and us so that we don't miss anything and screw up your financial affairs. In addition, we provide...
Do you log phone calls?
Do we log phone calls?
Correct.
We do not have a phone recording system, although when we have conversations with clients and our prospective clients, we do have a client management system that we enter notes into.
Okay.
So we do have that. Plus, we are required by regulation to maintain files of all incoming, outgoing correspondence and faxes and everything else.
But correspondence is
Letters, memos, emails.
secure though.
correspondence. It's pretty much everything, but not the spoken word. Yes.
When you say constant communication, what do you mean by that? Once a month, once every, what?
It's going to vary depending upon the client and their needs, but typically we will contact the client on a quarterly basis if it's nothing more than just a 5-minute phone conversation. So we have a conversation with them on the phone. Of course, they'll also be receiving emails from us. They'll be receiving the quarterly statements from us. They'll also be receiving ad hoc email communication from us. We have a newsletter that we send out on a semi-periodical basis.
Are people in your industry all pretty much compensated the same way, or could, okay, is there any of this effect? Let's say I go to you and you recommend a certain fund. Do you get anything from that fund? I don't know.
Nothing at all.
Does it do many financial planners, or how does that?
Yes, I mean, some financial planners do, because they're not registered investment advisors, and that's where it all kind of gets muddied up there, by this jumble of names and titles and credentials. But as a registered investment advisor, the majority, I can't say all registered investment advisors, but the majority are fee-based, meaning that we charge on the management of the money. We also do financial planning on an hourly basis. If somebody comes to us and says, hey, I just want you to do retirement planning for me, or I want to do education planning for my kids, or business succession planning, we'll do that for them on an hourly basis as opposed to some type of a fee, because we're not managing assets. But again, for us, it's all about disclosure. It's all about being an open book. It's all about showing you who we are, what we are, and laying it all out there on the line. Because we want to have our clients as confident about us, our capabilities, our credentials, our integrity as possible. And wow, I get another 2 minutes.
This thing goes awfully fast.
It does.
Now it's
quickly, let me just blow through the next few slides. When investors are surveyed, very often they do find that there's a high percentage of people who say yes. Given the choices, I would rather work with a registered investment advisor because of these different factors. And again, our primary function is advice. Our compensation is that we typically charge a flat fee for the advisor of potential assets under management. We have fiduciary responsibility. And this one slide says that we are regulated by the United States Securities and Exchange Commission. For ourselves, there's been a recent change in the rules with all the turmoil over the last couple of years, and Frank Dodd and have you. But the Securities and Exchange Commission only supervises firms with over 100 million of assets under management. We're not quite that large yet. So right now we are managed, or supervised, I should say, by the Wisconsin Department of Financial Institutions. The registered representatives, just to kind of draw that contrast here, their primary function is to facilitate securities trades or sales transactions for their clients. Typically, most often they are commission-based as far as their compensation. The responsibility of the client, again, is that suitability as opposed to the fiduciary. And regulatory, they have the FINRA, the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, along with a hodgepodge of other organizations. So again, just the quick comparison between the two on the registered investment advisor and the registered representative. So what you should ask yourself is, what are you looking for as far as your own particular investment situation? Are you looking for assistance with buying and selling securities, or do you want to have the advice, or do you have some combination of the two? How do you want to pay? Do you want to pay somebody on a commission basis as opposed to a fee basis? Do you want to take a longer-term, comprehensive view of your financial affairs, or do you just want to kind of do it ad hoc? And of course, how important is it to you to have the confidence or the faith in who you're working with, whether or not they have that fiduciary responsibility to you? So, again, know what you want, understand your different options, and choose the best one that fits your objectives. I should say that the best referral for us, it's hard to say who the best one is, but things that you can maybe ask of yourself or people that you know of, how much are you paying for your investments? Does anybody know right now how much you're paying on an annualized basis for your investments? Nobody in here? Okay, you do. All right, a couple people, 2 out of 30 people know how much you're paying for your investments. So right now, you don't know how much you're paying, and you could be paying a lot more than $1,000. The second thing is people, if you know somebody who's been recently retired or have been laid off or downsized, they'd be a good client for us as well. Or people who may have expressed to you a frustration with their current investment professional, or just lack of sleep with all the recent financial turmoil. Somebody who's getting all driven up and excited over the plight of their current 401k, IRA, sub-IRA, I should say not their 401k, their 201k. I appreciate the extra 3 minutes. Thank you very much. Any questions at all?
Just stick around a little bit to answer.
Yes. And I'm not getting all dressed up.
I have a question.
Yes.
If you had two funds and one was a load base, so you paid the fee so that it would be commission based, and one wasn't, but the one that was commission based gave a greater return, how do you handle that?
Generally speaking, in the investment world, you can find no-load funds or exchange-traded funds that provide a return very similar to loaded funds. So all of our portfolios that we manage for our clients are completely, absolutely 100% no-load funds. Again, we don't want to have any commission-based products at all. Even the annuities that we manage for our clients are no-load annuities. Most annuities, if you were to go out there right now and buy an annuity from somebody, you could be charged a 7% sales load on that. And then, of course, you have that surrender period for 7 years that they got you locked in by the... Let me ask a question very quickly. how many of you feel like you know better now what a registered investment advisor is as opposed to a registered representative and what the difference is between the two? Did you know that before? You can wait till the last presentation. All right. Again, thank you all very much. I will be around after the